Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ron Wallace here with Ballin' Down South Sports Network, here with another episode of the interview. And I can tell you, my next guest is no stranger to football at all, coaching football. He has been coaching for quite some time. He's been coaching at least 46 years. He's won 7 state championships, 3 4A Coach of the Year awards, and just been crowned National Football Coach of the Year in 2018-2019. And he's in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Let me go ahead and introduce you to UMS-Wright head football coach, Terry Curtis. How you doing today, Coach?
Hanging in there, Ron. How about y'all?
Pretty good, Coach. It don't start raining outside, look like over here in Mobile.
Oh, we're getting a little bit today. It's been a while. It's been really nice. We've the beach has been packed, and we got started with football, so that was a good thing. And getting a little bit of rain today.
So how's the family dealing with this pandemic, Coach?
Well, the family's been fine, man. I mean, we've had my sons both in town, which that probably hadn't happened since they were in high school, that we've had them this long together. So, with the bad thing of the pandemic and the problems it's caused, I think it's really been a blessing for a lot of families to kind of get back together. We've spent a lot of time together. Things that we really probably thought we would never do, because both my sons, or one of them at least, right now lives out of town in North Carolina. So to have them, the grandkids, everybody around has been really a blessing.
Well, Coach, looking at your resume is like none other. Talk a little bit about when you first got into coaching yourself.
Man, well, I started out in 1973, and let me say to start with, I've been around nothing but, Hall of Fame coaches. Bill Bacon hired me to my first job, and he only stayed 1 year at BC Rain, and then he went to Enterprise. He's in the Hall of Fame. The principal there was Ben Glover, who's in the Hall of Fame. From there, I went to Murphy High School as an assistant and coached under Robert Shaw, who's in the Hall of Fame. And the principal was Lefty Anderson, who's Hall of Fame, and then became a head coach at Shaw High School, and then back to Murphy High School, and now at the past 21 years at UMS-Wright. So a lot of people to think, been in public education, been in private education, kind of know how they both operate, and I think that's a positive for what I'm doing here.
Well, I can tell you this, having 7 state championships throughout your coaching career, and it doesn't like you about to slow down anytime soon, where everything's been pretty much going for you. Can you tell me basically how were you guys able to accomplish the type of coaching that you have and the players to, help you be able to get those championships?
Well, here at UMS-Wright, the number one thing is I've had great coaches my entire time, and man, what a great job they do. They're gonna, our guys gonna play with great technique. They're gonna play hard. A lot of people say that, but we're a little bit undersized in a lot of positions. But you can never tell, our kids that, and the culture here has been built over a long period of time. We've been to at least the third round of the playoffs, 19 out of the 21 years. So these guys have been brought up since elementary school to, what is expected around here. And we start playing football in the third grade, and it just shows that kind of stuff works. And we play with our guys and kind of do what we do. And been very fortunate. We've had, not that it's been easy, we've had, 2 or 3 hard games each and every year. And, Andalusia and ourselves have really had some great battles. And, we've been lucky enough to come out on top in most, especially the ones that mattered,
Well, I can now, not only are you a head football coach, but you're also the athletic director there. So how are you able to have such a successful football team? Also, make sure you're supervising all these other sports, and as being an athletic director, how are you able to juggle those 2 jobs?
Well, it's it's hard, but again, having good people. My assistant Molly Nordman right here in my office is unbelievable. Wes Lathan, the head of school now used to be the middle school AD and helped me a lot, Doug Barber. And, I have a lot of help from a lot of different people. So by no means is it strictly something I do. I kind of handle the tough problems and things that I don't need to know about. They kind of handle them because, at UMS-Wright, every sport's important. Boys, girls, no matter what the sport is. So we put a lot into that, and it's very important to me. I was one who played all sports. I loved all sports. I went to Auburn and played baseball, but I love basketball. Was probably my favorite sport. So I love all sports. I love watching all sports. I love watching kids compete. So I am a football coach, but I love the rest of the sports also, and take them very seriously.
So what are some of the guidelines that you guys have put in place dealing with this COVID, dealing with your students as well as your student athletes during this COVID time period?
Well, we've played really close to what the guidelines were statewide, also in our system, and things that our people wanted us to do. And not that we're perfect, but we're following those guidelines as close as we can. We temperature check every day when they come in. We keep them in the same group the entire day, whether they in the weight room or outside. We're instead of working 2 groups, we're working 4 groups. So where it takes a little bit more time for the coaches, it has made it safe for the kids. And we ask them 2 or 3, 4 questions, and knock on wood, where we haven't had any kids that have tested positive. We have had some siblings and parents and grandparents, and our kids have been honest with us. If they had a parent that tested positive, we sent them home for the 14 days. We don't want to take any chances. We can do without one kid for a few days. We can't do without 20 or 30 for 14 days. So they've been honest with us. For the most part, Ron, I think these kids are really over all of it. They're kind of back into normal because of where they fall. But we have stressed to them the importance of the mask and having them on and being able to use them and being truthful with us and keeping the social distancing and those kind of things. So, it's really worked well, and our kids have been very, very responsive, and I could not be more proud of them and the coaches and the way that we have handled this.
Well, Coach, talk about some of those guys that have gone on to get ready to go to college, have left your program, because you guys are putting out some good athletes for college out there at UMS-Wright.
Well, I'll start with our linebacker, who's all everything. He was 4A lineman of the year for 2 years, Will Breland. What an outstanding player he was. He's one that, you say, well, who's going to replace Will Breland? Well, we're not going to replace Will Breland. We're going to find somebody that's going to do the best that they can do. But I have not had many like Will Breland. So he's going to be a big one. He's going to West Florida to start his career, and then our wideout Keyshawn Woodyard had a great started since he was in the 9th grade. And the playmaker, and people always had to know where he was on the field. He's going to South Alabama and play, and then we got a couple defensive linemen we got to play: Eli McKinnon and Eric Wesley, and probably our most valuable player in a lot of ways, played offense and defense. Richard Brinson. He's going to down in Texas to play baseball, but man, he could run. He played strong safety for us. He played slot receiver. He ran our jet sweep. So he's another one that's going to be hard to replace, and that's kind of where the the spring training, the off-season workouts have kind of hurt a team like ours, because by now we would usually have some guys pretty much in place. But I cannot even give you any names right now because, it's all still up in the air, not having a spring training and seeing what some of these young kids could do.
Well, Coach, looking at some of your games and your videos, man, it's like the guys, you have a lot of athletes out there. I mean, from the quarterback to the running back. I mean, you guys can run the ball, you can pass the ball. I mean, it's just, and you just have some unbelievable athletes with the program that you actually have.
Well, we
Looking at,
do a good
go
job, I
ahead.
think, of developing them and where they go. They do run good routes. They catch the ball when it's thrown to them. Our quarterbacks are probably not big time prospects, but yet they throw the ball on time. They're accurate. They know our system, and that's always that's always a plus for you. Our quarterbacks are going to help us win some games, and very seldom are they going to cost us games. And I think that's very important.
Now,
But
who
you're
are
right.
some of
You don't run the
the
football now.
who are some of the teams you guys got pretty much lined up for this upcoming season? Whenever you guys do get a chance to play.
Well, we moved up to 5A, so that's going to be a new deal for us. But we won 3 straight championships in a row, so probably a good thing to go up there and see how we stack up, and play some of those guys and new guys. I always think it's really good to play new teams that don't know a lot about you, and also you don't know about. It's just kind of fun, like early in the season, Ron. When you play teams that you really don't know what they got back, it's kind of fun to play those. But anyway, we play in 7A Baker in our first game. Then we're playing Mobile Christian, who went to state finals last year. T.R. Miller, who went to the third round, and then we're going to Helena to play a team that went undefeated last year and is really on the rise in 6A. And then we got we got St. Paul's is back down in 5A, so now we're in the same region. And Faith Academy, who really had a breakout year last year, and then LaFleur and BC Rain and Alberta and Satsuma will make a 17 region. So, we have a very, very challenging schedule, and especially losing some of those players I mentioned to you earlier.
Now I know, I talked to Alberta coach, new coach there. Kid went to school at Nickel State, is the new basketball coach down there. So I know they got some. Alberta has grown. Their population of students have grown. So they got some athletes out there. I'm interested to see you guys play against those guys. Just see how they stand up against you guys. But
Well,
coach,
exactly.
I'm I'm not gonna keep you on here too long. One question I've been asking a lot of coaches from college all the way to high school: if you have a kid that's getting ready to play his senior year, getting ready to leave and go off to play at that next level, what would you say to that kid?
Uh, that's got one more year, and are they being recruited, or what do you mean by exactly that? Being
Yeah,
recruited?
they're being recruited, getting ready to go into their final season to play
Well,
high school basketball. Yes, sir.
I'll use Edwin White, our safety and athlete who is committed to Tennessee. Uh, used to be I was one of those guys who I would tell the guys, hey, make sure where you want to go, make sure that that's the place for you. I don't want you committing and decommitting and showing unloyalty and all that kind of stuff. But the way the recruiting has changed now, Ron, I told Edwin, I said, look, man, when you find a place that you think suits you the best, and it's somewhere you like the coaches, it's where you want to go, then commit to them. So Edwin was up in Tennessee before the pandemic started, and called me at a basketball game, and Coach Pruitt was sitting there. He says, "Coach, I'm going to commit." I said, "Well, if you're ready to do that, do it." Because what happened, Ron, was the early signing day, some people wasn't sure what they wanted to do, so they didn't commit.
Right.
There wasn't a place for them that second one, and a lot of kids got left out because it looked like the colleges, if you didn't commit early, now they had the great ones that they were kind of waiting on. But other than that, they were going to the transfer portal to get their other 2 or 3 players. They wanted someone who had been there, done that, and a lot of good high school guys got left out. So I'm just going to make sure that my guys who want to play at the next level don't get left out again. Because, the Breedland kid was way better football player than, not that there's anything wrong with West Florida, but, he could have played at a higher level, but he got left out. And also Keyshawn Woodyard, the wide receiver. So, I take the blame for it, but it's not going to happen again.
Well, I know I've interviewed, Coach Carolina coach, some of the Sun Belt coaches, and basically what they're saying is, we're in the recruiting is going to change because of COVID-19. And I told them, I think a lot of kids now are going to be more serious and going ahead, not waiting out, trying to see if they're going to get a better offer, because you got to, like you said, you got to go what fits you, not where you may want to go, but what's the best fit for you. Make sure they have your major that you want to get a degree in, because a lot of kids think they got to go here. Oh, I just want to go. I got to go to Alabama. No, if that school is not fitting you, that's not the best place for you, and that's what a lot of the college coaches are saying. Go with the best place that fits you. Don't just go because you want to go there. So.
Well, I know COVID-19 has changed the way they recruit, but, it already changed that early signing date too. So, I think that's you're going to see a lot of people committing a lot sooner than you have before.
All right, and that's pretty good. You're not wasting the coach's time and keeping them, stringing them out on the string. So that's definitely pretty good. Well,
the great guys, the great players, they're all going to keep recruiting them anyway, but those guys who maybe, there's 3 or 4 of them on the board, not much difference in them. They say they're going to take the first 2. You want to make one of those first 2.
Yes,
because that may be all you need is one team to like you. If one team likes you, then you're good. But it'll work out.
Yes, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is UMS-Wright Preparatory School head football coach Terry Curtis. Thank you for coming on the network today, Coach.
All right, Ron. Appreciate it. Thank you for what y'all do. Appreciate you.